We are told a simple story, a story etched into our collective memory, taught in our schools and reinforced in our museums. It's a story of progress, a linear march from the simple to the complex. It begins with our distant ancestors, emerging from the shadow of the last great ice age. For millennia, we are told, humans were simple hunter-gatherers, primitive. Their lives, we imagine, were a constant, desperate struggle for survival. They were scattered in small, nomadic bands, following the herds, gathering what they could from the wild. Surviving, but not building. Dreaming, perhaps, but not daring to shape the world itself. Their horizons were defined by the next meal, the next shelter, the next sunrise. We thought we knew the timeline of civilization with an almost comforting certainty. It was a neat, orderly progression, a neat ascent from the discovery of agriculture, which anchored us to the land, to the rise of cities, the birth of writing, the grandeur of empires, and eventually to us. This was the bedrock of history, the foundational narrative of humanity. But what if that foundation is built on sand? What if the story is not just incomplete, but fundamentally wrong, because the earth, patient and silent, held a different secret, an anomaly, a whisper of another story, waiting for millennia to be heard. It was waiting beneath our feet, buried under a man-made hill on a remote Turkish plain, a place known to locals as Göbekli Tepe, or Potbelly Hill. In 1994, German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt, reviewing earlier surveys of the site, had a moment of profound insight. He recognized that the fragments of flint littering the hill were not from medieval quarrying as previously thought. They were Neolithic, and the hill itself wasn't natural. It was artificial, built up over centuries. He suspected something extraordinary was buried here. He had no idea how right he was. What Schmidt and his team began to unearth was a complex so massive, so precise, it defies all conventional explanation. This was not a village. There were no signs of domestic life, no hearths, no houses. It was something else entirely. A temple, perhaps. The world's first cathedral, built on a hill. Hidden rings and enclosures, some measuring up to 30 meters across, spanned the horizon. Ground-penetrating radar suggests that at least 20 such enclosures lie waiting beneath the soil, a sprawling sacred landscape deliberately and carefully buried by its own creators. At the center of these rings stand monolithic stone pillars, some reaching over 5 meters high and weighing up to 50 tons. They were hewn from solid limestone bedrock in quarries over a kilometer away, shaped with an uncanny precision, and transported uphill without the aid of wheels or beasts of burden. How? The logistics are staggering, implying a level of social organization and shared purpose we never thought possible for this era. But the mystery deepens. The structures exhibit sophisticated astronomical alignments, perfect to the fraction of a degree. The central pillars of some enclosures seem to mark the position of key constellations as they would have appeared in the sky thousands of years ago. Others align perfectly with the solstice, sunrise, or sunset. This wasn't just architecture. It was a cosmic clock, a map of the heavens carved in stone, connecting the earthly realm with the celestial. And the carbon dating? The question that would change everything. It shocked the scientific world. The results were cross-referenced, tested again and again using multiple methods, from radiocarbon dating of organic material in the fill to optically stimulated luminescence on the sediments. The conclusion was inescapable, because it rewrote the age of what we call civilization. Göbekli Tepe was built around 9600 BC. That's 7,000 years before the Great Pyramid of Giza, 6,000 years before Stonehenge. It predates the invention of pottery, metallurgy, and even writing. This was not built by the Romans with their legions and advanced engineering. It was not built by the pharaohs of Egypt, who commanded the resources of a powerful, unified state. It dates back to the very end of the last ice age, a time when, according to our simple story, humanity was supposed to consist of nothing more than primitive, nomadic hunter-gatherers, incapable of such a monumental undertaking. Yet here is undeniable proof of advanced engineering, abstract thought, and symbolic expression on a scale previously unimaginable. It proves the existence of organized labor requiring the coordination of hundreds, if not thousands, of individuals drawn from a wide catchment area. These people needed to be fed, housed, and directed by a shared vision, a powerful ideology. And perhaps it hints at a lost technology of the mind, a profound understanding of geometry, astronomy, and social engineering that we are only just beginning to appreciate. This was the center of a world we never knew existed, a civilization that flourished for over 1,000 years, and then, around 8,000 BC, it vanished. Its creators deliberately buried their own temple under thousands of tons of earth, preserving it as if for us to find. Why? They left no writing, no pottery, no cities as we know them. They left only these fingerprints in stone and in the sky, a message across a chasm of 12,000 years. This single discovery forces us to rip up the textbooks. The old timeline, agriculture first, then temples and complex society, has been turned on its head. Here, it seems, the temple came first. The shared need to build, to worship, to understand the cosmos may have been the very catalyst that sparked the agricultural revolution itself. We are not the first. Not the first to gaze at the stars and see patterns. Not the first to organize ourselves to achieve the impossible. Not the first to build monuments to our beliefs. We may simply be the survivors of a forgotten epoch, an episode of human history so ancient it was passed down only as myth, if at all. A chapter that was lost, buried, and erased. The timeline of human history has been shattered, and in its place is a profound and unsettling mystery. Göbekli Tepe is not an end to the story, but a new beginning. A doorway to a past far more complex and enigmatic than we ever imagined. It proves that there are lost chapters in the human story, and the question that echoes from these silent stones across the millennia is not just what happened to them, but what else have we forgotten? Please subscribe to our channel, History Documentary Hub, for more insightful videos and intriguing content.